Let me quickly share this week's topic is going to be this thing here. So I had shared sort of in the little video on how to think this through at the strategic level, and I figured there was probably a good segue or a good hint to then show how to create one of these and what are the different permutations and options. This is one part of lead hook that we made on day one, but those who use it prefer me not to say anything about it. And those who don't use it are shocked and surprised that this actually does exist inside lead hook. So let's go down the rabbit hole today of how to, while I shared the video on how to think about these things in terms of setting up, we'll be looking at the actual setups as they are. So this is the original DT that we created for lead hook. I'll just share what it looks like. So obviously this is embedded onto a landing page, and when you start, it asks you a bunch of questions about your hair and all that sort of stuff. Because I had bought a hair company out or a product that had it should be sitting on my shelf here somewhere. Let me see, where is it? Usually it's sitting on my shelf. Oh, there we go, right here. This is the brand. I bought this company for $1, and I bought the IP for $1, I should say, and then there was a little bit of inventory. So it's a two-step system, and yada yada yada. I wrote a big sales letter and all that sort of stuff. And while it did okay, I'd hired someone to write articles for me on this topic, and she was an expert. And so one day we jumped on a call, and I said to her, like your articles are pretty in depth. What's your background? And she was like a biochemist or something. It's a PhD, someone on maternity leave. I had no idea that's what the situation was. And she was in product development for Procter & Gamble in this very space. So I said to her, all right, why don't we break it down and see how we can build something so we can learn as well as all that. So she was the one who created the first. I gave the concept to her, and then she made the whole thing up for me. And essentially what it does behind the scenes is it looks very simple, right? It's like, this, I'm going to ask the name, and I'm going to introduce myself, I should say, ask the name, your first name, which of the things apply to me, what I need help with, what's your age, a form, and then the personalized result. Now, if you ever look at the personalized result, you'll see that it actually really doesn't have anything on it. It's just got like a little bit of text here, a little bit of text here. But if you actually go through this, which I will do this, you'll see, or you'll notice that it actually creates this massive long content, even though this page itself, which is the final page that you see, does not have much on it. And all right, let's just look at the natural hair type. I'm just going to pick the wavy example here, and a bunch of questions around this. I should probably speed this up. You can control the settings on how fast you want this to load. All right, so I'm just going to pick bleached, blow drying, and dry, or brushing your hair too much. That was derived of research that we did on the issues that people in how they treat their hair. And then finally, the perceived problems. We had come up with a list of about 25, and we kind of narrowed it down to 5. And so you have, I'm just going to pick these 3 here. Go next. It's going to ask me to pick my age. Last question, as you can see there, a bit of personalization. I'm just going to pick an age here, my trusty email, and get your hair results. And as you see here, what's happened is, while this page itself only has like that much content and a little bit of kind of like a recommendation at the bottom there. So that's this part is coming from here, and then the bottom part is actually all this bit at the bottom. But all this content, all the way up to here, that is being dynamically generated onto this page. So if I were to go through this again and pick a different set of answers in my decision tree, this entire page would change. And so while I was doing personalized offers, I showed it to someone who was in financial planning or something, and they built a financial planning tool out of it. Because essentially what it is just a big fancy mail merge sort of functionality. So how do you actually end up using this, or how was this set up? All it is using this part of lead hook that not a lot of people in the lead gen space use, but the info marketers generally should be using, or anyone who's doing CPA offers, affiliate offers, that kind of thing. But there are many other use cases for this. Even I'm surprised sometimes with what people are using it for. So results are snippets of content. So I'm just gonna open up this one here, which is it's got a picture and it's got the harmful effects of the environment and environmental stress, and then the product recommendation, and so on and so forth, right? And so the result, you could think of it as an offer, you can think of it as a bit of copy, you can think of it as a headline, you can think of it as a bunch of bullets, you could think of it as your guarantee, you could give it and you can, in fact, you can generate a personalized sales letter on the fly using these snippets which you put together based on how someone answers the question. So how this one was done, I would not do this in the same way, because this is obviously from 2016 or 2016, 2017, in that era, or in that sort of that old. But here's what you do, right? Is if you answer this question this way, I associate that snippet of copy. So if I pick this answer for this question, which are the following apply to me, if I select this, it will show this on that final page. But if I pick this, then it'll show me that. Obviously, if I pick both, then it'll show me both. And that's how this page is being created. It's accumulating the content that's associated with this on the fly. And so if you have a look here, what we've got here, we've got I'll quickly show you how many permutations this thing builds. All right, and so I'll pick up my trusty calculator here. So the first thing I asked is the number of your hair type. That's 4 options. Then comes 5 options with the problems, 5 questions with my aspiration, or what I aspired, and what I need help with, and then my age. So, but the questions that are checkbox questions, because you can pick any combination, it's actually 2 to the power of 5. So 2xy 5 is what each one of them is. So I've got 4 times 4, and then times 32 again, which is this one here, and then times 6, because I have age options. It actually allows me to create 24,576 different sales letters in real time on the fly if I wanted it to, right? Because that's the number of market segments that this creates. Now, imagine if you tracked all this data down to conversions now, and you could work out that 80% of my sales is only coming from 6 groups, or maybe 10 or 15 groups, or maybe 30 groups, or whatever they are. All of a sudden, now you have a very good idea that the primary consumers of this product for the existing set of ads and offer is only going to be coming from that group. So then I double down in my ad copy, my targeting, and so on and so forth, and only go for that group. So while I would think that anybody with hair is my target market, I may learn through this experience or through this exercise that and backed by data, that bulk of my revenue or sales is only coming from a very, very small group of people. And so now my goal then becomes, how do I find these people? And then what I do is I say, well, what is the rest of the data showing? Maybe you'll find a couple of segments where you're getting a lot of volumes, a lot of people coming through, but they're not converting. Then you would take that audience out and you would strip them out and do what I described in the Facebook post as a peel and stick method, just to borrow the term from Perry Marshall, which is he was talking about peeling and sticking keywords. In this case, we are peeling and sticking audiences, because what we've realized is that this small cluster of people are the consumers of my primary offer, or the offer that I has created, but there's a whole bunch of other people that may need something different. So maybe a cheaper product, maybe a bundle, maybe, I don't know, something else, or perhaps someone that's not even your customer. And then what you could do is you could just add a decision node and just redirect them to some other page, right? So that's one application. I'll show another application, and I'll go to some questions about this before we move it up to the Q&A. So this one here was to create an offer wall, and all an offer wall is, if you have a look here, it's a blank page, nothing here. But if I go through this now, so let's go through this, you'll see that a whole bunch of offers pop up on the final page. So find out now if you have any unclaimed cash, special offer for people near Sydney. So what I've got here probably is on the first page that I've probably got my geo IP field sitting there. There you go, geo IP city. So it's picking up my city from my IP and it's replacing it with Sydney, yada, yada, yada. I can go, yep, I want that. Oops, I've obviously set up a redirect somewhere. Go no, and then yes, no, yes, no. So there you go. Based on the answers I've selected, it's given me all these offers that I qualify for. And what you would do, obviously, this is a silly example for the purpose of demonstration. In the real world, what you would do is obviously align with a bit of copy about why this offer is so great for me. And if you have a look at the how that's being done, in this case, I use a decision note. So in the previous example that I showed, I actually associated my offer, the snippet of copy, against each answer. That was before the decision node. So the decision node came about a year later from when I had made this. If I were to rebuild this again, I probably won't do it the way that I did it. I would just use this option here. And all I'm doing here is I'm asking for a specific set of conditions. So do you want a claim cash? Yes. Do you want something else? No, or whatever. If that's you, then you would have, that's the offer that you see, and so on and so forth. And obviously the conditions are the same because I was making a demo here, and therefore everyone qualifies for everything. But you would, in the real campaign, you would discriminate and present only things that align to me. So let's say, for example, if you're doing an inflation campaign of some sort about how to improve the cost of living, and you could ask me a bunch of questions around, credit cards and my credit score and mortgage, insurance, solar, whatever. And you can then present the right offer based on either the payout that you are getting and or what I qualify for because of my answers. Like if I say that, I've got lots of credit card debt and I'm struggling to pay, then you present with me a debt consolidation offer of some sort. If I say that I've got issues with, weight loss, then you may present a weight loss offer to me, and so on and so forth. But the answers that you get, obviously, you're not going to just use it for a campaign today, but you would actually pass it to your CRM or your marketing automation platform. And then you could do the rest of the other offers that I may qualify for via email, or if I didn't take up the offer, you can re-mail me again and all that sort of stuff. So it really makes you essentially what you're doing is you're trying to learn about the market and saying, well, listen, based on what I've just learned, what is the primary thing that this person is most likely to consume today? And whatever that is, it could be a download, could be a low ticket offer, could be book a call, could be whatever. Like, it's your funnel, you do what you want, including redirecting. So let's say, for example, if I realize that that this particular group of answers, let's say this offer one, I don't have anything to sell to that person. I could actually present that as a totally separate third-party offer. And this could be, you could call it real-time selling leads of real-time that are not qualified for your business because obviously you don't have something to sell them, or you don't have the best product for what they need. So then I would redirect them to, for example, in this case, I'm doing to Disney.com. In your case, you would do it to a CPA network or some sort of tracking link, and then it would then redirect onto some CPA offer or whatever that other thing is, including, maybe a joint venture partner or something. It doesn't have to be a CPA network or an affiliate offer. Could be someone that you have a good relationship with. So let's say if you are doing real estate leads and you have a close relationship with a mortgage person, then one of the questions in your real estate lead could be real estate funnel could be, hey, have you already worked out who you're going to borrow from or something? And they say no. So you can say, cool, you know what? I'm gonna get you aligned with someone who can help you get a mortgage as well. So if you were to sort of step back and say, well, what else can you do with this? Well, I'm showing some simple examples here where I can actually do just a simple offer wall. I've got a dynamic generated sort of offer page here. You could use it to do dynamically generated sales letters. You could even dynamically generate a PDF. And I don't think a lot of people know this. You can actually generate a real-time lead magnet that is all about you. That is a PDF. There you go. You press a little button there and it'll create a PDF of this page. So this page that you see here, I'm going to just discard this. This page here, this page here. This does not have to be a web page like this. This could actually be a PDF if it was a free report of some sort. And then inside the free report, I may have a link to book a call or whatever it be. Or I could say book a call and I'll send you the free report. And then you can just, because if I select that option here to generate a PDF, what actually happens is Leads generates actually a PDF URL for you, and it's under admin system fields. You'll see that under custom fields, it says rlink_PDF. That URL is unique to that particular person, and it's their PDF. That is a PDF of this page here. And you don't have to show this page. You can even hide this page. So I'll just quickly run through that one last thing before I move to Q&A here. Essentially, let's say if I wanted to generate a PDF out of this thing, I could actually do a PDF like so, and I could then say hide. So the PDF will be generated, but the person won't see it. So they may see an opt-in page and a thank you page, but the PDF part Leads generates and sends the URL to your email marketing system or your marketing automation system or your CRM or whatever, and then you can then get them via email or SMS or something while you quickly move on to the next thing, which is to maybe book a call or whatever it is, right? So you can really get quite creative in how you can mix and match the different permutations that are available to you to really get the most out of this, the whole thing, including graphs and charts, which I haven't shared today. That's a conversation for another day. All right. Any questions on this? Hope this makes sense, firstly. And if there's not, please do ask me any clarifying questions. And then any Q&A about this application. Jay, any questions? No. Okay, cool. Paul, Joss?
No questions. Obviously, I've seen this a couple of times.
All good, thanks, Nick.
It blows me away of what's capable of this, and that no one does it. And like the amount you can, especially with the affiliate stuff.
Yeah, including in fact, I showed it to Agora at one time, and they were interested, but obviously they ran into other issues. So the conversation didn't go too far. They started running into the FTC issues, so they had bigger concerns. But essentially, because they've got or at least back then they had so many offers, and so the thing was, let's not reinvent the sales letter. Let's just present the right sales letter for the offer. The quiz was going to be something along the lines of what's the best trading system for you, or what's the investment system for you, and based on how you answer the questions, you present it's the options offer or some sort of stock trading offer or some forex offer or some crypto offer, whatever it was. And essentially it's the same principle, right? All we're doing is we're learning a little bit about the person to then align something else to them. People are still doing like one generic VSL, let's smash everybody over the head on it. It's it doesn't have to be that way. The one person that I have seen that's done it really well is the V-Shred guys. I don't know if I'm gonna if it pops up here. They let's see if I can. I couldn't find a link the other day when I was trying to find it. V-Shred. Oh, there you go. Whoops, I do have it right here. vshred.com. Cool. So there you go. That's their quiz, and their quiz as if you have a look. So let's say if I pick male, 18 to 20, just randomly pick some stuff here. And active, what best describes me. This is actually, there you go, results male CB, whatever that thing is. If I guess if I go AB here, I might see a different letter or whatever, so if I do a site colon survey, I might grab the other pages actually. Well, let's try that out. Site colon and you know what, I'll leave those answers here. Let's see what happens if we do something like that. There you go. There's a whole bunch of them. So that pops up. So yeah, there you go. You can funnel hack the hell out of it. Because obviously they don't have they're not doing it inside. They're obviously redirecting into separate pages to do it. But that is an example of an application where they're doing something very similar, but inside leads hook, it'd be a little bit more slicker to do it. But you know what? I think they're doing about, I don't know, 50 mil, 100 mil, or whatever it is. So obviously, really successful product and offer using a very similar way. I mean, they've hard coded all this stuff. In the case of leads hook, for instance, 2016, you didn't really have to use hard code anything. I see a bunch of questions here. Yes, sorry. How much content did the girl create? Oh, yeah. So Jay, just to answer that question, just articles is what she created. And then I did a bunch of research and I said, you know what? A better way would be to come up with a decision tree idea. I didn't call it decision tree back then. I said, oh, this like a massive, let's see if I can bring it up here. I think I have it somewhere on the Leads Hook site. Let me just check that. I think I've got a history of it noted. 1 second. Okay. Why am I? Why is my thing not working? Okay, let's have a look here. leadshook.com. I'll have a look here. Maybe there was a yes. Yeah, let's why leads hook. There's a page where we got a bit of a story about us. I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. That's it. Cool.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the original one. That's what it looked like. It was a PDF doc where it said, straight, and then it had its combinations. If I can zoom in here, what it was, there's actually numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and what they were, those were numbers for snippets of content and snippets of copy. So when this came back to me from her, I said, you know what? That's an interesting idea. So that's when that's what prompted me to create the results. So that's resulted in this bit here, where they're just it's just content. It could be video, could be image, could be text that just sits in the, I don't know, in the ether, I guess, and you pull it in where you want to insert it. So it doesn't really have it can actually happily stay here without ever being attached to anything. In which case, obviously, nothing will show up on any of your published pages. But the idea there was that you should be able to mix and match and all that sort of stuff, and that's why it was made in that way. And its original influence came from this here. But in terms of the copy that was created for each of those snippets of copy, I'll show you. It actually wasn't much at all. So if you have a look here, let's say, for example, the effects of heat, it's only this is it. There was a picture which I just grabbed from Shutterstock or something, and that's it. It's there you go. It's just literally 1 or 2 paragraphs. That's it. So and that's all there was. I think when you put it all into one document, it was only like about 3 pages, if that. Most copywriters will write 10 times that in their sleep. So it wasn't a lot of content. It was just strategically putting it in the right order is what really made the whole thing work. Yep. Correct. So that's yeah. So the reason why it creates 26,000 combinations is because of the number of permutations that it creates as a result of this. So what I mean by that is, in this question here, because this is a checkbox question, checkbox naturally means that I can pick any answer. So I can select all that apply. So if I have 5 answers here, which I do in this case, it'll be 2 to the power of 5. If there was 4, then it'll be 2 to the power of 4. If there was obviously 10, then it'll be 2 to the power of 10. But when you multiply them out, it's the number of permutations it can create increases, but not necessarily you having to create 26,000 pieces of content. It's just the same content that's being put together, reordered in a very specific way. So it's the permutations that are 26,000. So it does create 26,000 different market segments and accompanying sales letters or content. but without necessarily having 23,000 pieces of content. I think it's only about 15 or 16 pieces that are being put together in different permutations. And that's what creates the true magic there. All right. Any other questions on this before we move it on to off topic here? All right. Cool. Right. Okay. Well, if there's no more questions about this, let's I'll stop sharing for a sec and let's move on to any other questions you might have. Anything related to the topic here? Looks like I'm having some issues with my mic. Let me just make sure input is Yeti. Okay, cool. Right, Jonathan. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Josh. Thanks for confirming. Right, Jonathan, I think you had a question that you messaged me about. Far away.
Yes, no, but it was more about tracking because I've been reviewing your articles, like some of them went from 2019, some from 2020. So I was confused of if they still like,
okay, yeah. Right. So the article that you wanna follow, at least for tracking, and it's only one article. It's a V2 tracking, and it's this one here, version 2. That's it, right? So I consolidate everything into one place. Obviously, there's not much to explain anymore, unlike the previous version where I had to go into the theory of tracking. Really no need for that. So I'm just going to put that into the chat here. I think you probably already have access to this, just for completeness and for anybody else. That's the first thing. Now, if you are going to do pay-per-call campaigns, then I do have a article on that, and that's using the Ringbar setup here, and it's got a little bit of stuff at the bottom here as well, which is the tracking for pay-per-call campaigns. Not button, but this one here, how to set up tracking for your pay-per-call. When someone clicks, what do you want to do, right? So that also is available, and I will add that in the chat here. Now, what specific question did you have about tracking?
So like how do you have like in each node you can track for lead or event view?
Yeah. So right. Okay. So what you don't want to do. Okay. I'm going to try and explain it in. Yeah. Let's use the original one here. No, actually, I won't because that's not V2. Right. Let me quickly go to. Yep. This one is not V2. Let me just quickly go to V2 DT. Right. Let's just go to this one. I think. Yep. Perfect. All right. So let's say if I wanted to track, this, generally speaking, for pretty much everything. Oops, let's turn our tracking on first, like so. I'm just going to put a fake number here. Let's just do that. All right, and go. Oh, perfect. Right. Now, if I open this up, I'll see some options available to me. Generally speaking, you could do this for all of your nodes. No problem. That data now is available inside, let's say, Facebook now or Google, and they're both available. And so that means we pick up that as the title. So let's say if this was a question, it'll have that. If I answer the question in a specific way, it'll also have the answers available. And now you can build audiences with that. Now I do have a separate article for that. And while the article is old, the concept still is valid and available. So I'm just going to go audience here. And there's the Facebook one here. I only wrote the article on Facebook because the principle is the same, even whether you be TikTok or whatever. So what happens is when you go to create the audience, some of this UI may have changed, but essentially you're looking for your visitors from your events. That's the part you're picking. So you're not picking a specific web page, you're picking events, all right? That's the option you select. And then you go to your URL params, and that's where the params pop up, and your questions and answers pop up. And now you can select your questions and answers here, and you can build that audience from right.
Step 8 for me was not showing anything.
What page for you?
No, the step number 8.
Step number 8 was not showing up for you. Okay, cool. Okay, what I'll do is, you know what? I'll have a poke around with mine, and I'll update the images if they need to be updated. But that essentially is what you're looking for. Now, the main thing to do is obviously before you go and try and create an audience, see if everything is firing as expected, right? So that's why you want to go make sure that it's firing. So you would put the test your test variable that comes up from Ads Manager, and then you would track to see whether the events are coming into Facebook. So that's the way to do it first. to check that. Obviously, you want to confirm that first, because if that's not happening, then you won't see anything here. So you want to confirm that process first. Do you know how to do that, or does someone on your team know how to do that?
So you're saying if you check mark these two boxes, you don't need to add any script anymore?
That is correct. That is correct. There's nothing to add.
It work with the script. I figured out how to make it work with script. I was trying with a page view.
No. There's nothing to do with any of that. I think you're needlessly overworking. I think it's this one here. That's it. Just go. This is going to send you the view event.
Checkbox.
Correct.
That-
Just put the
that's gonna-
checkbox.
But
And
the-
on your final one, so let's say that's your conversion event. You would then on that one go and select. You can still select this. It'll just send you another view event. But usually that's the final page. Hey, thank you so much. We'll get back in touch with you, so on and so forth. You would then select the lead one. Obviously, you don't want to fire lead 5 times, because then you'll get erroneous data. You only want to put lead 1 time. In which case, you're going to put your value here, pick your currency, and that's it. And so you pick your lead 1 time. For everywhere else, you are more than happy to put the view event.
And that's gonna capture as well the answer of the if you have a multiple.
That is correct. That is correct. Automatically.
That's why I was stuck to, and because I went back to the old article, I saw script. So I was
Yeah.
able to-
No. You don't have to do that. Okay, so essentially, so if you let me, hopefully I can let me just see if I can log in here. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go to Google Tag Manager so I can show you. Tag Manager. I'll show you what we're firing, so that way you'll get a better understanding of what's going to show up inside Facebook and or Google or whatever. All right, let's see.
And are these calls on Vimeo or YouTube yet?
Yeah. No. So there's been a bit of a delay. My YouTube guy came back to me, on Friday that he couldn't get access to the channel or whatever. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, so I've got to deal with him after the call. But yeah, they're all being accumulated. They're sitting nicely in a Google Drive, and they'll be there shortly. So, all right, let me go in.
This this would be a good video to add to that document, actually.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. You're right. Okay, so let's have a look at the tags here. I'm just going to go Facebook just to show you. Facebook. Oops. Facebook. All right. So you got view here. That's the view event. So when you let me match it up for you. If you select these 2 options, what is firing on entry and exit? It's firing this. So inside Facebook, you're getting view content. It's got your node title. We pass the lead ID. We got the node type. We got the DT title. We've got the event. We've got the node type, the title, the answer, the lead ID, and so on and so forth. So all this information is available already inside the view content, which means you can use any one of these variables to actually go and to build an audience around, or to build conversions around as well if you wanted to. Right. So this is what we are sending into Facebook. If you when you tick this box here. That's why with V2, all you're doing is as far as your actions are concerned, all you do is you come down here, download that, press that little button there, it gives you a container, like so. You go inside GTM and go to basically admin and import the whole thing in. That's it. That's all you got to do. Everything else is taken care of for you.
So now
So import publish, and then come inside leads hook and select what you want to track. And all you got to do is just select what you want to track, save it, exit, publish, as in inside leads hook. Tracking is pretty much done. There's no scripts to add. There's nothing fancy to do. Yes, you can get a little bit fancy with all the tracking stuff. You can actually, obviously, we don't limit you. You can go and add your own scripts if you wanted to. But the point is that there's really no need to do anything more than that. We already give you the ability to track in and out of every node. And in the event, yes, pay-per-call adds a little bit more complexity, and maybe there's a few other people out there that do fancy stuff like I think Josh is doing that, where he's got 2 or 3 pixels firing simultaneously so that he can keep other ad accounts seasoned and all that kind of stuff. If you're looking to do it, then you can obviously go ahead and massage the GTM container. But otherwise, really, there's no in terms of the vanilla version, which actually does allow you to track pretty much everything, does not require you to needlessly go and make any changes, any scripts, nothing fancy. It literally is a 5-minute job.
Right. That's why I was confused. And you don't need to put it on a transition node, right?
Correct.
You-
You can put in transition. I believe we already added that in. The reason why for adding everything into transition is because it allows you to consolidate everything. So rather than calling transition, obviously you'll call it. I think Josh has got a setup very similar to that. I'd actually just go and put my tracking events or something, or my conversion events, I should say, my tracking conversions.
I put an information node with a script you gave me.
Oh yeah, okay, fine. That's the equivalent version of it, and that's it. So that's going to be my conversion events, and you can then push them around wherever you want it. But
So
the other place to put is right over here. Yeah. So really,
there's a reason you told us not to use transition node previously. Has that been changed now?
that's fixed now. Yeah, that's all fixed. Yeah, there was an error that came up from here, but that's long fixed now. Yeah. So most people are using. But yeah, there's no need to needlessly change what you're doing. As in your setup, Josh. Just keep running it as is. Obviously, if you build something new, then feel free to use transition node. It's a little bit more elegant in the sense that you don't have to copy and paste any scripts. But as far as
it's easier for a team as well.
Correct. Yeah, I like really. There's no need to do any hacking of scripts and stuff anymore. Yes, there are a couple of edge cases where you may want to need some extra scripting and stuff. But generally speaking, straight out of the box, we allow you to track everything in and out, plus the lead event and anything else of that. So I don't really see why you'd want to do that. Now, so just for your benefit, you understand, let's say tomorrow you add Taboola. You're like, hey, listen, I'm going to use Taboola now. What do I do? How do I fix Taboola is not one of the platforms you provide here. What do I do about it? Okay, well, we've got GA, and generally speaking, people use GA for everything. So you continue to do that. Now, what's happening when you have GA is we are actually, I'm going to go to, let's go to tags here. I'm going to go to Google, right? And I'm going to go GA Analytics View. Okay, so what's triggering this is actually that, right? And so you can actually add Taboola and attach it to this. Obviously, your GA is already. So what I would do there is I would do something like this. I would go add new, come to my HTML tag. I'll just put my what do you call it? Taboola or whatever it is, your traffic network. Let's call it test. And my trigger here would be Google Analytics. So if I want to do view, I would actually do this. Because now what happens is inside leads hook, when you select this option, let's say you go view on entry and exit, it actually triggers this, and this now triggers GA and Taboola, right? So you can actually piggyback off the setup, which is why I kind of like go like, when I see setups where people are trying to hack things with all these scripts, I'm like, we've already given you the infrastructure that works 100% of the time. We've spent hundreds of hours on this. So I can almost guarantee it, you can't do a better job than what we have, because we do automated testing on this every day, pretty much, to make sure that everything is running up and running. So you don't have to worry about that something's going to break and all that kind of stuff. If it breaks, we'll know before it breaks. Before it breaks for you, we'll know in our test environment that it's broken. So since you've already built infrastructure for you, you can piggyback off the work we've already done and trigger whatever you want off this. Since most people use GA anyway, so in fact, recently someone reached out to me saying, I don't use GA, I only use Facebook. Great, trigger this off Facebook then. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. Open this up, search for Facebook. So if it's a view, I'll select that, and that's it. My Taboola code will go here. Now, let's say you want to add Taboola, you want to add Reddit, you want to add Outbrain, you want to add, I don't know, some other third-party network. Great. Add all of those. Add the same view content event. As long as Facebook is active on this DT, all of this will trigger off the same GTM trigger. And that's why it makes it so easy for you to extend to any other ad platform or media buying from using our basic GTM container that we provide. Jonathan, does that make sense?
But so why will you add this transition I mean, you don't need to have a conversion transition if
Oh
it's
yeah,
already.
no, okay, yeah, no, okay. So now there's a good reason for it, and I explained that. All right. So you at transition, generally speaking, what you're going to find is a lot of people have their transitions sort of like towards the bottom here, and because for deduplication, which is server side and client side deduplication, you obviously use your transition node to fire your client side, but the event IDs need to be the same. And so then what you do is then you would fire your server side one, which is a webhook, like so, like a Facebook webhook to do your server side conversion. Your setup would look something like this. I'm going to get rid of this here for a sec, and like that. And so you kind of pair them together. So what happens is on exit, you fire your conversion event, and immediately, because that event ID remains the same between the two, that same event ID is used here. Therefore, Facebook and GA and whoever else you're using is getting the same data from two sources. It's getting it from the server side, it's getting it also from the client side. So then it doesn't double count your conversions. That's the reason why a lot of people use this setup in this way. But otherwise, otherwise, it's a nice way to set it up. It allows you to do duplication pretty simply and easily.
For the lead only, right?
Correct. For the lead only. That is correct. You do not do duplicate for anything else.
And I know you have an article on duplication. Is that like up to date, or it's like old one?
Yes. No, that's up to date. If you get stuck on something, if you find it a little bit too technical, just reach out to us, and I'll make sure that the team helps you out. I do have to update that. You know, a lot of those things are not needed anymore. So I'll explain what I mean by that. If you go into tracking here under custom fields, a lot of the stuff that article requires you to do, you don't need anymore. Firstly, we track your FBP, FBC pixels or cookies, I should say. We also track your FB CLID, right? We also track all of your UTMs automatically. Same thing for Google. We track all the Google pixels as well as cookies that Google is using. Automatically, it's saved inside these respective fields. So you don't have to go and add any custom scripts on the node to grab that data. The data is already available. All you do is you just add the webhook part and insert these variables inside your payload, and that's it. You're done. So a lot of this stuff has been simplified a lot in V2. I should probably update the article actually. I'll update the article by Thursday. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. That's it. That's the real power of V2, because it does simplify a lot of tracking, because we initially in V1, we provided you the infrastructure. You can put any code you want, you can put any script you want, and basically you manage it. And what we found was it was just so complicated, and no one could get it right. And we would spend hours trying to fix, because they would say it doesn't work, and I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't work? So we look at it, and it's a bot setup. I've seen stuff like this, and it's kind of scary. I've seen stuff like this where people put the entire pixel like here, like on every node. They've got their full pixel sitting here. So if I go script, the entire pixel is sitting here on every node. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're killing me, man. Yeah. So it dawned on me that the understanding of all this tracking stuff is actually not quite there for most media buying teams. So either they have a very techie person that takes care of it for them, which is great, but I've seen a lot of gaps in that, including seasoned marketers that are running some serious volume of traffic. Even they struggle with this stuff. And I get it. Well, why you would, because you don't look at it every day. So obviously, if you have to look at something every 3-4 months, you are pretty much relearning everything each time you attempt at it. So the way to abstract that is to do this. Very soon we've got an update coming where we're adding in server side everywhere. So on every node like this, you'll have a little checkbox button right next to it saying server side. You tick that, and we'll fire the server side stuff. All the details are going to be all behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry about all that nonsense. Just tick what you want to do, and the duplication will be taken care of automatically as well. You just select what you want to do client side, what you want to do server side. We'll take care of all the technical headaches behind the scenes.
When is that coming?
We're hoping next month.
Great. And was the AI released or it's still like
No. So landing page builder, haven't released it yet. We've got another 1 or 2 updates to come this month. And once that's done, yeah, you know what? I have a chat with the team. You know, a few of the guys were celebrating Ramadan, so this is going to be a short week as far as the dev team is concerned. So I should have an update for you by either Friday or on the next call next week. I'll have a concrete update as to when we're releasing it.
Got it. One more question. So somebody,
Yeah.
John Marcari, posted like something yesterday. Do
Yes.
you
Yes.
recommend like
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yep. All right. So, good dude, long time user of Lead Hook, which is John McCarthy. It's right here. Cool. All right. So, what he found was that he's not very technical, and he was able to work out a way in which to actually do this. He's got a team now that helps organize client side and server side tracking, but they use server side GTM to do it with an app called Stape, I think it's called. It's STAPE, Stape tracking, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what Stape does, I believe it piggybacks off GTM server side. And that's not what we're going to be doing. We're going direct integration into GA and direct into Facebook. We don't want to use any other third party because so that's what he does. Obviously, there's a lot of people out there who still struggle with a little bit of the scripting side, and I get it. The Lead solution, while it's efficient, it's still a little bit technical. So if you're looking for someone to help you, you know, kind of take care of it for you, obviously use that. I'm well aware of the fact that the blocking of cookies is going to be an issue. Not yet. We're about I don't know, maybe 6 months to a year away until cookies are gone. But until then, but also this is a third party cookie, right? So we don't use third party cookies. Facebook is going to move to first party. Google has moved to first party. So I guess he's trying to sell his service. So so that's why he's got third party. Third parties are blocked anyway. Even right now, third parties are blocked. So that's not really any new information here. So yeah, but if you're struggling with this, you just want to give it to somebody to take care of it for you. John's a good dude. He recently sold an agency, so he knows a bit about how to start, scale, and sell an agency. In
He
fact,
sold.
yeah, he sold it. Yeah, he sold. So I
congrats.
actually, yeah. So actually, his broker had set up the IM, the information memorandum, and he ran it past me. So I suggested some edits, and then which he did, and then I think there were a few people interested. There's a new guy who he's bought it. I believe he's scaled it about 4 or 5 times more than what even John did. So I think he's doing quite well. But based on the volumes that are coming through, I can see he's doing quite well. So yeah, and so therefore this is his new side hustle. I don't think he's interested in building another agency, or certainly doesn't want to compete against the guy he just sold to, which would not be a cool thing to do. But he's retired anyway, so he's just sort of bored. So this is what bored people do. They do tracking.
Great.
Yeah.
What else? On the click to call campaign, will you still don't choose a script, right? You will
Okay, right. Okay, so what you'll do on that setup is there'll be a button script that you add here.
Yeah.
A button. So that actually is to add the button. Let me walk you through it actually. Not that one. That one right there. Okay, cool. So this script. Well, let's try it out. There you go. I'll just copy this. Copy. And come over to source. Control V, and there you go. All right. So that's what the button looks like. It's to get an immediate payment of $1 billion. Good offer. All right. So that number that you see is gonna pop up right over here, and that's the number that you pull from Ringba in real time. Now, if I were to set this up, actually, I'll save it. If I were to set this up, then what I would do is I would have my Ringba API call. Let me just bring that up here. Webhook. So this one's going to be Ringba. There you go. All right. Okay. My Ringba script will be just above this here. So my setup would look something like this. In fact, if you check out the video on the page here, you'll see that's what I explained in that video there. All right. So that's the setup. We send an API call to Ringba. It brings back a phone number, and that phone number is actually being saved. Sorry, it won't be webhook. It'll be an API node. My apologies, made a mistake right there. It will be an API node. And the reason for that is because we wanna grab that number that comes back into a custom field, and the custom field in this example that we've got here is called phone underscore number underscore pool. That's the number that you are saving it, and you are presenting it on this page. Now, if you have a look, what this button has got a ID here called phone call. Now, what we want to do is when I click this button, or when it's actually got the phone number, I want to trigger my conversion event on click of that button itself. That's what that script on this here looks like, and so that's going to be this script right here. So this one here brings back all the details. That's the button code, and then comes the tracking part that's in this video, and you'll see the custom events in the tracking article. Let's bring that up right here, and that's the script you're going to put, which is sitting right at the bottom here, custom script. There you go. So what I'm doing is I'm capturing that event. So let's go this one here. I'll grab it's this one here. That's the one with the button. So you see the ID. It's looking for that ID to be clicked, and that phone call ID is actually this one right here. That right there is looking for this. Now, obviously, you can change it to whatever you want, and if you do change that, then make sure that you also change that as well to match. So as soon as it's done, it's going to push this into the data layer, and then you fire an event based on that. So that's the bit that actually gets sent, and that's the video to check it out. So there's a little bit extra script to add, but it really opens up the ability to communicate with GTM pretty easily. What we've done is we've abstracted all of that and put it into a script here. We're calling it custom GTM event or whatever the hell it's called, and that is going to push all the information that you've captured into the data layer, and then you can fire whatever conversion event you want off that. And that's how the pay-per-call campaigns work.
Great. Okay. I don't know if someone else has a question. I have another question. You
Sure.
remember about Leadspedia,
Yep.
so the web stuff. So I set up Leadspedia with an API. Once you post the API, it gives you a response, which is
Yep.
like,
Yep.
it won't tell you if a lead sold to a buyer. So I was
Yep.
like using that. I added like another transitional after this one, depending on the response.
No.
of Leadspedia.
Well, okay. So it depends on the API. I don't have that much expertise with Leadspedia. I've played with it every so often. But what happens is when you use an API node, you're going to send all the information across. So let's go JSON. You're going to push, like for example, I don't know, first name, last name, blah 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 blah, all the stuff that goes, and it's going to send you back some information. Now, depending on I don't know how Leadspedia works, but in some systems, it'll bring back the buyer's details and all that kind of stuff. You can push that information back. Success, you can even push back the price the lead was sold at, all that sort of stuff. Now you can reverse map all of that. So what you do is you set your thing up, you press the test button, it'll make a test API call, it'll bring back the custom fields that Leadspedia replies back. You then reverse field map those into the the leads hook fields. And now those fields can be then used to personalize your thank you page, saying, hey, thanks so much. Let's say if it's solar or something, for your details, XYZ, John Smith from, XYZ solar installers will be contacting you in the next 24 to 48 hours, so on and so forth. So its primary use is essentially to align the person and who's going to be contacting them very soon. So in your case, if Leadspedia does do that, or that functionality is available to do that, then obviously do save that into a leads hook custom field, display that onto this page. But what you can do at the same time is in between your Leadspedia API node in your thank you page, you can actually add these nodes here, which is go right to the bottom here, which is email notification and SMS notification. So you can actually send an email right away saying, hey, just want to let you know, we've received your details, blah, blah, blah is going to contact you. Same thing, you can fire an SMS directly from inside Leads Hook that tells them who is going to be contacting them and all that sort of stuff. And the reason for doing that is you want to notify the lead and keep them warm, because generally speaking, if your person is getting a phone call after 5 or 7 minutes, the lead value drops dramatically. So obviously, then you want to send that data into a CRM or a marketing automation platform and continue to keep them warm. If it's on the client side, then obviously the client's going to take care of that, or they should be taking care of that. If the client's not doing it, then you want to take that responsibility on board and do it on their behalf. It's a investment that is worth doing. And the reason for that is because your client's going to say your leads are crap and all that sort of stuff, and it's got nothing to do with the fact that the leads are crap. I mean, the leads may be crap, but not necessarily. But the issue could be that because the lead is not being kept warm, that by the time your client calls up, it's a little bit too late, and the person like, who the hell are you? How'd you get my number? And all that sort of stuff happens. So in order to avoid that nonsense, you want to nurture on your client's behalf, because that has a dramatic impact on what the salesperson experiences when they call. So depending on however you're running your operation, if you are taking care of those things for your client, then obviously communicate, over-communicate if you have to. But if the client is doing it and they are adamant about doing it themselves, then make sure that you do review what they're sending out. Most people just send out like brochure rubbish. And as a result, they lose the lead, not because you didn't do a good job on the generation side, but they're nurturing and keeping them warm before the phone call goes out from the salesperson is just rubbish, basically. So that's the main issue here. I do have two questions here. Let me just quickly check that. Cool. Monday sales. No, actually, no. Josh, I've never played with Monday. Responses should have something like a lead ID and then get the API in the next node to pull back. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. So that's the other option available. What Josh is in the chat.
Jay, if you get stuck, I'm happy to run you through that as well. It's what we do with our CRM.
Yeah, that's Jonathan. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, answer. But so I was using the same way that you described right now. I use it, where you fire the lead conversion on a node.
Yep.
I used it to fire lead conversion only if the lead sold.
Okay.
So it's based on a mapping response. If the Leadspedia return A leads was sold,
yeah,
then that's
okay. Then I don't think you should be doing that from inside Leads Hook, purely for, not because we can't. We can. Obviously, you can send the information back to Leads Hook. Leads Hook will fire it. It's the latency, especially if you've got a very big ping tree. Because if your ping tree has got lots of stuff in it, lots of steps in it, it might take 60 seconds. It might take 1.5 minutes. The person might close the page and leave, which means that API call back into Leads Hook may not happen and may not arrive. And so obviously the guy is gone. And so for that reason, if you are, your Leadspedia should be doing it for you. So what you want to do is you want to trigger a webhook from Leadspedia into Zapier, and Zapier should be firing an offline conversion into Google, Facebook, or whatever platform you want to send it into. So don't send it back into Leads Hook for the purpose of conversions only. Of course, send it back because you want to present a thank you page, which is a little bit more personalized. That makes sense. But if it's just for that purpose, and if you've got, because what can happen is if there's latency in your ping tree, and I've seen ping trees that run up to 4 minutes, 5 minutes sometimes, so which is a very, very long time for someone to just sit around twiddling their thumb. So it's it's not a very good user experience. So what you want to do is just check and see how fast it is. And it's not Listpedia's fault either, because obviously they're connecting with other third-party platforms to try and liquidate the lead. And if you've got 15, 20 buyers sitting on your ping tree, then that's a lot of API calls have to go back and forth and wait, all that kind of stuff. So it's a practical limitation just as a result of how leads get sold. If that's the issue you're facing, then leave the conversion from Leadspedia and don't necessarily bring that into LeadsHook, if that makes sense.
Got it. Yeah, but Leadspedia has like a different plan just to get the webhooks features. Otherwise, like I don't know, maybe it can be done, but it's like a post-back URL.
Ouch, that sucks. That
Yeah,
sucks.
no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess you could do a postback. The problem with postbacks is that the limits to how much data you can push back. If you can put lots of variables in your postback could work. You could potentially do a postback. So webhooks by Zapier, which is this thing here, webhooks by Zapier. It actually accepts a post as well as a get, so you can use either one actually. And so whatever Leadspedia gives you in their lowest price plan, how much you paying for Leadspedia, by the way?
We had it for like a couple of years, so we pay like $850, but the new plan is much higher now.
Okay, $850.
Yeah, to get the webhook will be
Josh, you're a lead bite, right?
Yeah, we're late, but
How much are you paying?
fair bit. I don't know. I can check.
Leadspedia, Nick, is around 2,000 for the first.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not cheap, man. It's an expensive, and it's quite like
Okay.
tell me if I'm wrong, Jonathan, but it's quite a confusing dashboard to start. It takes a little bit of time getting used to.
I mean, we had it for years, so we're used to it, and we got a
Yeah.
great deal with 850. Now that's why I asked about webhooks. So
Yeah.
to get a webhooks would be an upgrade to 2,500 a month. So it's
Ooh, ouch. 2,500 just for webhooks?
Yeah, that's what I said.
What
So,
volume are you doing?
they give you like 1 million pings a month, I think. I'm not exactly sure. Like,
So
How many leads are you doing? Would be a better question, I guess.
what is it?
How many leads are you doing?
You can do like 50,000 a month.
Okay, are you doing that now, or
Depends on the month. Currently
okay?
not.
So we're seeing a lot of SMSs from Leadbot. I think we're paying. Last month was 1,500 GBP.
okay.
What's the name of it?
Lead bite.
Leadbot. That's
Lead bite,
and
yeah.
ladies in the group as well.
I think I've heard of this one before.
Yeah, it's a UK based company.
Yeah,
and
that's like
and-
it's a license is 1,000. I think that's unlimited now, but then we're paying like an extra 600 or 530 for SMS at the moment. So
Okay.
depending on what stuff you're doing, so 1,000 is not that's GPP plus
yeah,
530 SMS.
and Lead Prosper increased their price recently too, right? So I think they're all on par now.
Lead Prosper is good, but it's missing some features that
Yeah.
depending on what you need.
Yeah. Okay. Go. All right. In that case, all right. I will. Let's see. Okay. Cool. All right. Any other questions on this?
No.
No.
All right. Cool. Anybody else? Any questions? Hope it was made sense. Hope it was sorry. I guess any other final questions on any other topic not related to all this tracking stuff? Oh, by the way, anyone here uses Hyros?
No.
I've used in the past, Nick, but not since we've started doing all this stuff.
What's the big deal?
You know what the big deal is? It's just
Alex.
it's tracking for non-tech people.
It's Alex.
He's great. He's a great marketer.
Yeah.
When are you gonna start with your YouTubes with your shirt off?
Yeah, our secret AI system. It's like the AI system actually. So here, this is the funniest AI news, all right? So here you go. Let's have some AI news. Okay, so Amazon Amazon. I saw this today. I had a bit of a chuckle. Shopping AI India. Here you go. Okay, so there you go. It's the people who are doing the you know how Amazon says you can just pick the stuff and walk out the shop. Okay, well there's about 1,000 people in India that are watching the screens to see who's walking out. So yeah, so it's not so AI. It's very much augmented with lots of human beings.
Is that like an AI creative builder?
No. This is I'm talking. You know how this is. Sorry, I mean this here, Amazon shopping. Sorry, let me see. Amazon shopping. Sorry, Amazon retail shopping. Let me see if I can pull up an image. Images. Oh, it doesn't want to give me images. You know how you can just walk out with the stuff from the retail shelf? Yeah. Okay. So their marketing claim is you just pick the stuff up and walk out of the shop without going to the checkout, and automatically will just bill your credit card. Well, what they've uncovered
Indians.
is that it's a bunch of Indians that are watching screens. It's not so AI. Yeah, it's just underpaid workers.
Got it. That's great.
So
No, that's AI
Was
like
it-
20 years ago.
No, Naval said it's AI stands for Anonymous Indians.
yeah, that's right. Cool.
I've
Artificial
got a
Indians.
question. Does anyone have a good service tool to build like AI ads, like video ads?
Yes.
Like this,
Yeah.
maybe
I'll
this.
share it with you. Yeah, it's you can definitely try this. There's a few people that I know that are using Pictree AI. So there you go. There's one version right there. I'll copy and paste that.
Is it good though, Nick?
It's like
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's
We used
no,
that.
okay, sorry. So
few
as a strategy, what you
countries.
want to do is get the concept right by building here, and then once it works and you realize, okay, you know what, this one's kind of break even, then you take that idea and you maybe get a UGC version of it done. That's a little bit more high quality and done with a better stuff. Though I do know someone in the solar space in the US they spend about one and a half million a month. It is so dodgy. I'm shocked it works, but they're spending $1.5 million on it, and I've seen the ads, and so it does work. At least in that one specific example, I should say, it did work.
using that service.
Yeah, correct. Using this service, yeah, and so perhaps either that or at least their quality was really, it looked so fake, like the mouth was moving and the voice was out of sync and all that kind of stuff. So it was actually pretty bad. But I don't know
which market are you in?
but I don't know if they're using this specific service or not, but I've seen the AI version of the ads do quite okay, or at least it's a good place to start, because obviously the minute you involve humans, which is i.e. some UGC ad or working with a third-party agency, like a 5-minute job ends up becoming like a 5-week job. So what you want to do is you want to do lots of ads with this, and then once you've got something that's got traction, i.e. break even, you only take those 4 or 5 ads and then get those rebuilt with real human beings with the true production value as a way to split test against that. So it does play a part in your overall workflow, but its value add is that it gets you speed to market to test the different concepts and ideas that you want around this. But whether it works at scale for perfectly for like best quality right out of the box, I'm not too sure about that.
Check out Collabstar and Creatorflow, the
All right.
other UGC things.
What's that again? Crabflow?
Creatorflow, Collabstar,
Creator Flow?
Creatorflow. Creativeflow is Australian based, and the right.fit is Australian based. Collabstar is American based.
Gladstar?
Collab, like collab,
Collab,
COLLAB.
Collab. Collab Star, right?
That's right.
Okay, I think it must be this one here. Okay, I'll share that. We're looking for.
We've used Creativeflow quite well for the Australian market.
All right, and if you're looking for American, then go here. There's also Facebook groups where you can kind of grab these people. I'm not sure how good the quality is. Josh, have you tried any of the Facebook groups?
That's where I got these ones from a Facebook group.
Okay, got it. Cool.
Just
Awesome.
search UGC, like user generated content.
Yeah. All right, so go here, UGC, and you should see groups. There you go. Wow, there's a whole bunch of them. Cool.
But look at one that's relevant to your market.
Yeah, to your market. Yeah.
Great.
Cool. Any other questions?
Okay.
Josh, anybody?
My question would be around that Monday.com API if you know anyone that's done it.
No, I haven't. But you know what? Let's have a look. Can't be that hard. It's an API.
Exactly. It's just a bit. It's weird. It's not like a regular CRM.
All right. Let's have a look. There you go. There's a reference right there. Oh, what do you want to do? You want to send data in?
Just sending leads to a client.
Let's do
So
it.
I've got the API key. Just got to send it to them.
Okay, SDK webhook. Oh, there you go. They got a webhook version too. Let's search webhook.
And these APIs are so bad.
Yeah. All right. Let's have a look. And okay, this is not a very good documentation. Okay, thank you. All right, API docs. Maybe you're in the wrong place. All right. Let's have a look at version.
So I have to leave, Nick. Thank you so much.
Hey, no worries. Talk to you
you.
soon. See you next call.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Nope. Making a first request. All right, they've got a playground. All right, let's open that up. And okay, API key. Yeah, no, this is so if you're using LeadsHook, then it'll be just a normal webhook node. If you where you'll put that in.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with the webhook side. It's more trying to figure out the down documentation.
As in where to send it to?
Yeah, but how they format it and all that stuff.
Okay. Let's have a look at reference. Okay, cool. What would it be? Subscribers. Yeah, what do they call
subscribers? Because it's set up as a table format.
Okay,
So it's basically sending data to a table.
Okay, which is like a board? Is that what it is? Is that what that is?
Yeah, a board. Yeah, that's how they set it up.
Okay, cool.
That's what makes it a little bit confusing. They don't have the standard contact and then details associated with contact.
Yeah. Sorry, dude, I haven't set it up yet, but I mean,
I'll figure it out if you get it.
Yeah, no. So if you have a look at the docs, they look reasonably simple. It's like if you played with one, so I guess it'll be a whole bunch of this ChatGPT and just testing it out. So yeah. So I think the way to do it would be to do this, would be to grab that, a node like that, JSON, put your thing over here, there'll be one more here. It'll say authentication, yada, yada, yada. The API key will go here. And then what you want to do is put your bunch of information like JOS or whatever, and just test. Just do lots of tests
Yeah.
and see which one
I'll just
shows.
use Omnio, that one, and finish it that way. Just test
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
All good.
All right, guys. Lovely chatting. Let's do it same time, same place next week. Have a
Thanks,
nice
Nick.
week and
Cheers,
evening.
Nick. Thank
Day.
you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Bye.